I'm Delly, of course, lead college football writer, best in the business. Had a great cover story on Joe Burrow. And this weekend, Burrow wins the Heisman Trophy, and he does it setting records there, too. Ross, you have been around this sport for a long time, and Burrow is such a breath of fresh air for Tiger fans, especially at the quarterback spot. But can you encapsulate this season up to this point from what we've seen?
Well, it's tough to kind of put into words. It's been truly remarkable what he's done, this year. And to have a LSU quarterback win the Heisman is one thing. To have an LSU quarterback win the Heisman by the biggest margin ever is another. It just keeps getting wilder and wilder, man. It really does. And his Heisman win and his Heisman speech is kind of already having an impact, around the world when it comes to generosity and charity. And we have something coming out on SI.com in an hour or so about that. But it's truly incredible. There's been a kind of a ripple effect, and hopefully for Tigers fans, it'll kind of continue to extend for the next few weeks.
Up to $90,000 now. When we got on the air this morning, it was at 50. They were asking for 50 originally, and they're up to 90 right now with the Athens Food Bank. What do you think about the speech?
Oh, yeah, it was incredible. I mean, it was just emotionally charged and stirring. And, you talk to people around the program, and I think he had like bullet points, but he really didn't. He wasn't reading from any kind of statement, which tells you a lot. It was a heartfelt, from the heart kind of thing. And, it was stirring, man. I went back and rewatched it, and it was incredible. And he's from this football family that I've got to know, and I know you guys have got to know over the last year or so. And they don't do a whole lot of crying.
Yeah, that's right.
So it just told you how much that meant to him.
Ross, one of the reactions that I've seen a bit today, not a ton, but a few people talking about it is that, with this, I mean, you look at Burrow's week last week, right? Wednesday in Baltimore for a Unitas Award, Atlanta on Thursday for the Home Depot Awards, Heisman in New York City on Saturday. Any concern going into this playoff just about preparation and everything that comes with it? Like LSU kind of starting this prep a little bit behind.
Well, it does kind of take you away from some of that stuff. I think that last week, though, there are a lot of teams that were kind of off last week. Usually that's around when exams are and things like that, and so a lot of schools take off completely, pretty much. A lot of teams are off completely. So I don't know how much behind they are. But it is one of those things that's just exhausting, and I know they flew back or are flying back this morning from New York, and, it's just been such a whirlwind his last 5 or 6 days, all this travel and all these emotions. And at some point you kind of got to put that behind you, and he seems like a guy who can do that, but it's still got to be difficult to do that, to move on, to get focused and get serious, and after such an emotionally, physically and emotionally exhausting few days.
Yeah, and it wasn't just Burrow on the award trail, Ross. We haven't talked to you since those Home Depot College Football Awards on Thursday, where Delpit won the Thorpe, Chase won the Bolitnikoff. What was your reaction to those two decisions?
Well, certainly not, surprised by Chase's award. I figured that he would win that. He's been one of the. I remember going back to the Texas game, and I was there, and he was the best player on the field. I thought on either side of the ball, it was incredible, and he just only got better throughout the season. Not that Grant Delpit didn't deserve that award. I think that it probably took some by surprise that he won it. It's funny when you look at LSU's football team. Like usual, they're just loaded with talented defensive backs, and some might say he's not even the best one on the team, which is it's crazy, but that's how it is at LSU, right? The whole DBU thing, you know, they're always loaded in the on the back end.
Ross, we're talking to Ross Dellenger of Sports Illustrated, covers all of college football. Ross, what's the kind of early whispers in the national college football media about these playoffs? How are you feeling about Ohio State Clemson?
Well, I think, you know, that has the makings to be, I believe, at least the closer game, in like it should be at a 2-3 seeded game, but it does. It has the makings to be a closer game. I think the 1 seed was so significant this year more than years in the past because you wanted to avoid Clemson. You know, you wanted to avoid a team that has been in the playoff so many years in a row and experienced it and won national championships. No matter what they did this past year, which wasn't as impressive probably as previous regular seasons, but they've just been there so much. So, you know, in a way, Ohio State's gotta have their stuff together, man, because Clemson knows how to win there. Their coaching staff knows how to win there. A lot of their players knows how to win in the playoff. So that should be interesting to watch. You know, I ran into some people in New York last week at the Football Foundation. They were picking their brain on LSU, Oklahoma, and all of them said the same thing. Oklahoma's secondary is just not what it needs to be to hang with LSU.
I mean,
you know,
that's not good.
And that's when you play LSU and Joe Burrow, and you can pick a spot where you like to be weak. That's probably not the spot you're picking. So it's going to be tough. I think I could see some kind of shootout or whatever, but it's going to be tough for the Sooners to slow LSU down in any way, I think.
How many requests have you gotten for the Burrow cover article?
Oh my gosh, dude! I mean, it's nonstop. Email, phone, text, call. I mean, it's been constant. And we're all out. We're completely sold out, and we have been for a while. It's sold out across the country. You can get it on eBay. I had to go buy it on eBay. I don't have one. I don't have edition.
What?
Are you kidding?
No, I'm not kidding. And so Saturday, my wife went on eBay and she bought 2 editions for $30 each.
What? Ross, you wrote it. I mean, this seems like I don't know. Yeah,
it's unbelievable, and they're on there for even higher price than that, and there's some on there with signed for $500-$600. We might send some back to get printed again, and get stocked up again. I don't know if that decision's been made, but you know, in order for that decision to be made, we have to be promised a certain amount to be ordered, basically. And I'm gonna tell you, in South Louisiana, you know, they don't know it up there at the SI headquarters in New York, but we'll be able to fill any kind of order, I think, in South Louisiana.
As many as you want.
It's been wild.
As many as you want.
Yeah,
I mean, like,
much.
especially around this Christmas time right now. I mean, people have asked me how they get the SI for a Christmas gift. I'm telling you, like, not like you, but I mean, I get multiple texts per day asking, "You think Dellenger can get me a sport?" I'm like, I don't think that like that's his deal, man. I don't think he can do that.
Yeah, he can get himself one.
He can't even get himself one.
I know. Right. It's remarkable.
Well, I do want to get you to sign one because I want to give little Jay a signed Burrow and like you and Burrow signed copy of that SI because it was fantastic, man. It was a great article.
My signature will bring down the value of that real quick.
I want you to sign the piece on politics and sports in Louisiana, Ross, because that thing is aging like a fine wine.
Is there anything more?
Right?
Is there anything more Louisiana, Dellenger, than having two of the most powerful lobbyists in Jim Nickel and Gina Going sitting alongside John Alario and the governor on Saturday night?
I mean, I couldn't have planned that story. I wanted to do that every year for the last few years, and I'm glad I waited and decided to do it this year because that story in mid-October looks great in the story on Burrow, and I followed him around media days in July. and our headline was, "Could he be the savior?" You know, he's poised to be the savior for LSU football. Though, yeah, those two things, I got a little lucky there, so I'm living it up there. It's been good.
Well, Delly, we always appreciate your time, man. Have a great week. We'll talk to you next Monday.
All right, y'all.
Ross Dellenger checking in from Sports Illustrated. We'll close it out next.